feeling like I'm Akademiks.
The next nigga I hear bring up anything about Meek Mill and Diddy, we ain't got no problems. He not finna come to my house somewhere. I talk to street niggas around it. I'm finna, listen, you know why I pop out these days? Because I dap it up with the street niggas. We have a real nigga conversation. They know I'm not too pussy not to pop out and talk to niggas. I get understandings with niggas. I'm good. The next nigga who talk shit about Meek Mill on some funny shit, I'm slapping the shit out of you. Word 2. That's how I'm giving it up right now. Me and Meek, we ain't got no beef right now. Shout out to Hip Hop Police. Yo, you know Hip Hop Police hit me up before my show, the one we did, my birthday party. They were like, yo, your birthday party, we're coming at certain time. I was like, what? Well, you know me, I love police. I said, yo, if y'all need backstage access, holla at me. We got you. I love the police. I love the police. Those are the same police that supposedly was saying, yo, you gonna be there, Meek gonna be there. So I'm like, what? So, yo, shout out to Hip Hop Police. You know, I'm starting to think, you know why nothing ain't crazy happened to me? I think Hip Hop Police watching out for me. I love them. I love them niggas, man. Holy. Okay. And something happened to me, I'm working with them. Put y'all niggas in jail. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, me and Meek, we piece it up. Why the hell Trap Lil Ross dropped this video?
Meek Mill used to be the Philadelphia street rapper who beat the odds. He had served multiple prison bids and still managed to release hit records that dominated the charts. But then,
chat, somebody sent this as a donation. This is not me.
Then that embarrassing L from Drake came, followed by his label drama with Maybach Music Group. And by 2024, what was once a meteoric rise had turned into a struggle to stay relevant. But just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse for Meek, the Diddy scandal erupted.
Singer Cassie has accused hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of and a decade of physical abuse. The two were romantically involved for years, but in a lawsuit made public today, Cassie says there was a pattern of control, drug use, and encounters.
Multiple lawsuits crashed down on the diddler, alleging everything from trafficking to domestic violence.
Don't call my man the dealer. He's not the dealer.
Violence, sexual assault, and in the midst of this legal firestorm, Rodney Jones,
This thing's a liar. I don't believe nothing he says. He's a liar.
Diddy's former producer, who spent
even though the feds did admit they used his statements and his affidavit to get a search warrant, but they didn't use him in the case, which is odd. You use his statements to raid somebody's crib, but you never used them in your case. That's odd.
Over a year in the music mogul's inner circle, would drop perhaps the most explosive lawsuit of all. The 73-page bombshell that turned the world of hip-hop upside down with a damning footnote suggesting that P. Diddy actually had a relationship with the Philadelphia rapper. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought Diddy was finished? The breadcrumbs were laid out, and internet detectives wasted no time connecting them directly to Meek's doorstep. As these allegations against Diddy's multiplied like a bump on the corner of his lip, the public began scrutinizing the true nature of Meek and Diddy's relationship with fresh eyes. And as social media sleuths dug deeper, it became clear that the clues had been hiding in plain sight all along.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
So today, we're taking a closer look into the bizarre and sus relationship between Meek Mill and Diddy to determine if they were truly just industry friends and mentor-mentee as they claimed, or perhaps if something more intimate was happening behind closed doors, and sometimes, seemingly, even in front of the camera.
Singer Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, today filing suit against ex-boyfriend Sean Combs.
P. Diddy accused of assault by producer Lil Rod. Put up the picture for him ass.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper 5 that's redacted. He's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin shit. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up. This is saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the me? Like, I can't even imagine such debauchery and such happening to a gangster rapper like me.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no.
Okay. Because I do.
You see, Sean Diddy the Diddler Combs has long positioned himself as hip-hop's ultimate gatekeeper, the kingpin who could make or break careers with a single cosign. So for young artists, getting Diddy's attention was a golden ticket to exclusive circles, tight circles, industry connections, and the kind of mentorship that no streaming revenue could buy. And for a street rapper like Meek Mill, fresh out of prison on weapons and drug charges, Diddy may have represented a bridge between the block and the boardroom. He was looking for someone to come on board and have his back, but not in the prison sense. The timing of their connection couldn't have been more perfect for Meek. For one, he was still relatively unknown outside of Philadelphia's underground scene, having spent years grinding through mixtapes and dealing with legal troubles that could have ended his career before it truly began. His 2008 arrest on drug and gun charges had resulted in a probation sentence that would haunt him for nearly a decade, making industry connections even more crucial for legitimizing his transition from the streets to mainstream success. The two most likely crossed paths after Meek inked his deal with Rick Ross's Maybach Music Group in 2011. Since Diddy and Rose had been running in the same circles, this connection put Meek within the splash distance of hip-hop's billion-dollar boss. What made this relationship particularly significant was the cultural cachet that it represented. Diddy wasn't just a successful businessman, he was a symbol of black excellence in an industry that had historically exploited its artists. So for Meek, who had watched young men in the hood like himself fall victim to the streets, he narrowly escaped that fate himself. Aligning with Diddy represented the ultimate validation that he had truly made it out of the trenches. And as Meek's stock rose with Maybach Music Group, Diddy's interest in the rising star began to grow, an interest that got thicker and hardened as time went on. Likewise, Meek, still with the streets in his blood, but the boardroom in his sights, likely began looking at Diddy with puppy eyes like the OG who could teach him how to turn street fame into generational wealth. And they would soon start popping up together at industry events like the Live Beach Party in 2013 and the Time Warner Cable Studio After Party in February 2014. These early public appearances established a pattern that would define their relationship for years to come. Unlike typical industry networking, where artists might take a quick photo and move on, Meek and Diddy seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. Then in 2015, Meek would level up big time, landing one of the biggest female rap and pop stars ever, Nicki Minaj, as both his collaborator and his girlfriend. The same year that power couple started dating, that's Meek and Nicki, he would also release his sophomore album, Dreams Worth More Than Money, which would land him his first #1 album, as well as winning top rap album at the 2016 Billboard Music Awards. During this period, Meek continued to build his relationship with Diddy professionally, maintaining his industry connections while his career was on the rise, getting harder by the day. And while Meek and Nicki were building an image of one of music's favorite power couples, Diddy kept himself in their orbit like a proud husband sitting in the hotel cuck chair, and co-signing their movements like a proud uncle at graduation. Meek and Diddy also had hit the studio together for the track Cold Hearted off Meek's new chart-topping album, putting their mentor-mentee relationship on wax for the whole world to hear, with Meek shouting out Diddy together with the other big dogs of the rap game, Jay-Z and Baby aka Birdman. But then, in January 2017, Meek and Nicki would officially call it quits, causing one of the first major L's for the Philly rapper in the public eye. However, on the rebound, Meek's connection with Diddy only got stronger and harder, like he traded one powerful relationship for another. Diddy was helping Meek get over his heartbreak, and the two were popping up everywhere together, popping bottles in VIP, hanging out in pools, and popping out at events. To the public eye, they were just two hustlers who had beaten the odds, one from the crack era and one from the trap era, both supporting each other.
I'm with Diddy on another level. Ooh, it's your birthday.
But what the public didn't fully understand at the time was how unusual this level of closeness was in the hip-hop and street cultures. While mentorship relationships are common, the industry typically maintains certain boundaries between established moguls and rising artists, and the fact that Diddy and Meek were spending so much personal time together and appearing at each other's private events so often suggested a bond that transcended typical business relationships. On paper, it was the perfect alliance. However, in April 2019, we would see the first piece of evidence that their bond might have been something that the streets was not ready to hear about. At Coachella that year, Meek and Diddy rolled up looking like they shared a stylist, with matching fits and all, a move that seemed harmless at the time but would later be labelled Exhibit A in the zesty courts of public opinion. The picture of their matching outfits quickly made its way online and started circulating across social media. At the time, it sparked some jokes, a few side-eyes, but nothing career-threatening. Just two rich dudes with the same stylist who couldn't keep their hands off each other, right? But the thing is, this wasn't just a one-off situation, and a month later, in May 2019, footage emerged from what seemed like a casual hangout at one of Diddy's properties. The video showed Meek taking a little dip in Diddy's pool, and the clip itself seemed innocent enough until Diddy spoke.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Diddy's word choice for Meek struck many viewers as unusual for a standard mentor-mentee relationship, or for a standard male friendship for that matter. But just like the matching fits in the photo, this footage made the rounds in the blogs, raising some eyebrows and causing relentless clowning. But it eventually disappeared into that internet graveyard where most celebrity content goes to die. But what no one knew at the time was that these seemingly innocent interactions would later come out in a much darker light. By the time the 2020s rolled around, Diddy was sitting on his throne, dripping dough and baby oil, playing the kingmaker in the rap industry. The bad boy mogul's parties were as legendary as ever, and if you got that invite, you'd truly made it to the top, and there was a lot of top. But while the mainstream media was busy gassing up Diddy's billion-dollar empire, platforms made up of the most dedicated internet sleuths like Lipstick Alley and Reddit were operating as a rumor mill, pumping out gossip that wouldn't see the light of day on Billboard until years later. These digital underground networks had been tracking patterns in celebrity behavior long before mainstream media had caught on. Users would compile photo evidence, analyze social media interactions, and connect the dots that traditional journalism either missed or chose to ignore. The speculation about Diddy's sexuality had been circulating in these spaces for years, with users pointing to everything from his party guest lists to his business relationships as potential evidence. Folks on these platforms would try to connect the dots and cook up theories about Meek and Diddy's suspect relationship. The speculation ranged from subtle hints about their sexuality to theories that Meek and Diddy were genuinely lovers in a full-blown relationship. But it wasn't just anonymous keyboard warriors running up the rumor mill. In 2022, Nicki Minaj, who had spent 3 years booed up with Meek Mill from 2015 to 2017 before sending him packing, hopped on Instagram Live with Soulja Boy, suggesting that she knew rappers in the industry were hiding their true sexualities.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no. We don't know about that.
Okay. Because I do.
Now at the time, nobody knew who she was talking about, but later, people speculated that she might well have been talking about Diddy and Meek all along. People just figured that Nicki was doing what Nicki does best, stirring the pot and keeping her name popping. While all this chatter was bubbling in the digital streets though, Meek was doing business as usual with Diddy. The man was still publicly stepping out with Puffy, appearing at his events and letting him play Big Homie in his career, and perhaps letting him play elsewhere. If he was aware of the rumors, he showed no signs of concern. Whether this was him being oblivious to the whispers or simply betting that they would never reach the mainstream is impossible to know, but what is clear is that he made a choice to maintain his close association with Diddy that, looking back at now, might have been the biggest career L he could have possibly taken. But Meek wouldn't realize just how costly this mistake would be until February 2024, when the Diddler's allegations finally came to light. Now, the countdown to catastrophe began in 2024 when security footage hit the internet showing Diddy assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hotel hallway back in 2016. Visual confirmation of allegations that she had made in a lawsuit filed earlier. After Cassie's lawsuit, the floodgates were blown wide as a cheap twink's back doors. To put things into perspective, Cassie's lawsuit didn't just open legal doors, it fundamentally shifted the cultural conversation around Diddy. For decades, he had maintained an image as a successful businessman and cultural icon, with any negative stories getting buried or dismissed as just industry gossip. But the specific detailed nature of Cassie's allegations, combined with the shocking video evidence, created a perfect storm that made previously unthinkable accusations suddenly seem credible. It provided a template for other victims to come forward, creating a cascade effect that would ultimately overwhelm Diddy's ability to control the narrative. By the end of 2023, 3 more lawsuits had crashed down on Diddy's empire, and each packed with allegations that made jaws drop, and not in the good way. As 2024 kicked off, lawsuits against Diddy started piling up like bodies. Either kind of bodies. Multiple accusers would come forward with allegations ranging from assault to sex trafficking and racketeering. The man who claimed "Can't Nobody Hold Me Down" had allegedly been holding several men and women down and was now drowning in legal paperwork. And this situation would be hard to get a handle on like a leaky bottle of baby oil. But outside of Cassie's lawsuit, there would be another that garnered a lot of attention from the public. That's when Diddy's former producer Lil Rod, real name Rodney Jones, who'd spent over a year in the mogul's tight circle producing tracks for his latest album, went fully nuclear, filing a 73-page lawsuit that overshadowed all of the previous allegations. The suit detailed disturbing behavior, including allegations of drugging drinks, coordinating recording encounters without consent, and running what amounted to a criminal enterprise disguised as a music empire. During these late-night recording sessions, Diddy and Lil Rod had allegedly created some absolutely disgusting recordings, and that's just the music they made together. But while the main text discussed activities allegedly coordinated by Diddy, it also had a footnote buried on page 13 that would set social media on fire. A footnote described a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj allegedly having sexual relations with Diddy. There was no direct name, no explicit accusation, but it really didn't take much for the internet to connect the dots and figure the description might well have been a flashing neon sign pointing at Meek Mill. Within hours, old trails of Meek and Diddy's bromance would surface online. That daddy comment in the pool, those matching outfits, the constant appearances together, but this time it wouldn't be seen as two friends being overly close. It was now seen through a different and greasy lens. With people joking about Diddy being the dominant in their alleged relationship, even Nicki's 2020 comment about undercover brothers in the industry resurfaced and went viral again, with fans claiming she'd been trying to warn everyone all along, and eagerly waiting to see if Nicki would spill the tea. Now, Nicki's comment carried extra weight because of her unique position on the situation. As Meek's ex-girlfriend who had been intimately involved in his life during the climax of his relationship with Diddy, she would have insider knowledge about the dynamics that the public never saw. Meek would try to defend himself almost immediately after the allegations surfaced. What followed was a series of tweets seemingly designed to affirm his straightness, posts that ironically came across as desperate rather than convincing. In one tweet, Meek would brag about having twice a day when he had a woman around. He would follow that up claiming he was gangster, and then threaten to trash anyone who played with his manhood. Anyone but Diddy, I guess. But these attempts at damage control fell flat. The internet turned into a digital firing squad with Meek as the target. Fans cooked up AI-generated tracks with Meek's voice spitting bars about his alleged activities with Diddy.
Dream chasers. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street forever. The king of Philly.
Memes flooded every social platform, with users getting increasingly creative in their mockery. One particularly viral meme made Meek and Diddy into a movie poster parody titled Diddy Diddy Bang Bang, playing off the classic film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, a much more explicit implication, and another describing Meek and Diddy as booty brothers. Meek's bad boy dreams were quickly turning into nightmares, and his comments section became a battlefield that he just couldn't win, with fans relentlessly trolling him using Diddy-themed wordplay and taunting him to keep tweeting if you're gay. But perhaps the most savage development was when audio of two men aggressively going at it hit the web, with everyone claiming that it was Meek and Diddy making the kind of hits that you won't find on Billboard. But Meek's humiliation wasn't just coming from anonymous internet trolls and meme pages. Soon enough, actual celebrities started piling on, common behavior for a Diddy party, turning what was already a public relations nightmare into an industry-wide roasting session, again, common practice at Diddy's parties. The first big name to take shots was Andrew Tate of all people, the straight alleged would waste no time jumping into the fray as soon as the allegations surfaced. Tate quote tweeted his own months-old post about avoiding famous people because they're all gay and weird. Ironic coming from the once self-professed most famous man in the world, but okay. When Meek tried to clap back at Tate, bringing up the influencer's own legal troubles with sex trafficking allegations, Tate doubled down, making it clear he was just asking questions about what everyone else was already talking about. A bit rich coming from a man who spends most of his time shirtless with his attractive brother, but okay. By May, Meek had had enough. He would make what he thought was a smart move, unfollowing Diddy on Instagram. But it backfired completely. This apparent attempt to distance himself was actually seen as an admission of guilt, triggering another wave of mockery, and with that, the celebrity pylon only intensified. Again, like a Diddy party after the 2C arrives. Soulja Boy, who had a completely unrelated beef with Meek over some producer drama, went straight for the jugular with a tweet that had the internet in shambles. The timing was perfect, or perfectly terrible for Meek. Here he was trying to distance himself from Diddy, and Soulja Boy just reminded everyone exactly why. A few days later, he would also go on Instagram Live to apologize for some other drama with Metro Boomin, but somehow managed to circle back to Meek.
And Meek Mill, mind your business. Ain't Diddy playing in your booty hole? Huh? Ain't Diddy you and your ass? Why you on my tweet around in Maybach trucks?
But while Meek was busy defending himself from Twitter trolls, he also had to deal with getting clowned by his longtime arch nemesis.
I am not that nigga arch nemesis. No, I'm not. No. Yo, stop it.
See, if there's one person in the public eye who's been on Meek's helmet, apart from Diddy, it's DJ Akademiks. The media personality and streamer had been beefing with Meek for years, with their feud dating all the way back to 2017 over Akademiks supposedly not promoting Meek's album properly. By 2020, Meek was publicly trying to cancel Akademiks, even threatening to put a hit on him. When somebody who gets hit by men is threatening to send hitmen, you know you're in trouble. This was a threat serious enough that Akademiks reportedly contacted the police in response.
Just remember that Meek Mill is nothing but a hypocrite. And again, yo, I don't know if you have issues with 6ix9ine, you clearly do. You don't want to address him. You got issues with Nicki's man, you don't want to address him. You got issues with Nicki, you don't want to address that. Cool, I get it. Ak is supposed to be the dude who, like, yo, you could just get everything off on. Cool, I'm just trying to tell you that, bro. Like, I'm just not into being bullied. So if you got like some tough that you have to do, keep it that way. Just stop snitching on yourself. Stop telling the world you're greenlighting people, and just do what you have to do. Because right now, like, when you say green lighting, I send that to the police. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, yo, are you greenlit?
So, when the Diddy Meek allegations hit in 2024, Big Akademiks saw an opportunity that he could not pass up. Within hours of Lil Rod's lawsuit hitting the internet, he was live on Twitch, going through the entire 73-page indictment page by page. And when he reached the footnote describing a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, Akademiks immediately stopped scrolling and connected the dots to Meek, with his audience gobbling it up, like a complimentary buffet tray during a Freak-Off's halftime.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin shit. If you don't, you've been tweeting about everything on planet Earth. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up, this saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the Meek?
Ak went full prosecutor mode. He would roast Meek for tweeting about everything under the sun, except these allegations about him and Diddy getting freaky.
Yo, Meek, now ain't the time to be talking about switches on the street. They want to know if you're a switch hitter. That's what we want to know. That. We ain't talking about switches on guns. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm funny. I don't care if y'all think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. I think my mama think I'm funny too. I wake up in the morning after I've been drunk and I stream and I watch my shit and I laugh. I'm funny. Y'all don't think I'm funny? Fuck you niggas. I'm funny. That's what I'm going. I'm finna do a comedy tour. I'm funny. Holy. Nigga talking about switches. Nigga, we trying to figure out if you're a switch hitter, nigga. Are you a switch hitter? That's all we want to know.
But he wasn't satisfied with just discussing the lawsuit. He would go on to dig up tweets with every interaction between Meek and Diddy that suddenly looked suspicious as hell.
Why y'all saying look up the pool video? What happened in the pool? Oh, him belly flopping? Meek Mill pool. Oh, the fries on the lap? Nah, that was epic. That was epic. The fries on the lap was crazy.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy.
Yeah.
You putting in that work.
Meek and Diddy in matching fits? What are you talking about? Yo, chat. I'm glad when these documentaries exist because when I see these niggas in real life, yo, I told you, I seen Dave Free. The nigga had tears in his eyes. I couldn't even remember why he's that mad. Yo, chat, I'm having a blast. Chat, I'm having, can I say this to y'all? I'm having a blast. I seen Dave Free. Bruv, he had tears in his eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he so mad? I thought y'all won the battle. Yo, I'm meeting these niggas. I'm thinking they're Gucci because I've been laughing. I've been having fun. They're dumb tight. They're yo, chat. This is why I don't mind y'all clipping me. Make all these documentaries because I need to remember what I say because I be running to these niggas in real life and I'll be like, yo, what's up, nigga? What's poppin'? They be like, nigga, what's up? Nah, nigga. We don't want to talk right now. Like, what's up? Nigga, why are you saying all that shit online? And I'll be like, every time I'm like, what I say? You know, I be drunk. Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot. I'll be like, what'd I say? These niggas, they be in their feelings. I'm like, what the hell? Why this nigga so aggressive? Why he so mad? Y'all just eating wings with the bros. Chat, when I watch these videos, I'm like, oh, I get it. I do get it. Okay. I gotta watch these type of videos. I kind of know that me and Meek, we're not gonna have a good conversation. The Dave Free shit, the whole time I'm like, why is he looking at me like that? He's like, yo, I was thinking about this fight. No. Did I tell you this part? He said, yo, I was contemplating the whole time I'm about to come up here and crash out. And I'm like, yo, why is he thinking like this? Maybe I think this rap shit is a joke. I actually do. But the nigga told me, he said, I was thinking about the whole time I was about to come up here and crash out. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I can see he's so passionate. I'm like, maybe I'm taking this shit as a joke. I do take it as a joke because I clown all these niggas. They're mad. They're like, nigga, I'm seeing their heartbeat. I'm seeing like they're like, I'm like, what the fuck? The nigga told me I was thinking about it this is after Salad came up. It's like I was thinking about I gotta come up there and crash out. But I knew if I crash out, I was gonna crash out on a nigga who I ain't really had the problems with. So I said, yeah, you're right. The nigga is in Canada who you want to crash out. Oh, my bad. Yo, chat, I'm sorry. Yo, this is hip hop to me. I don't take out none of y'all serious. I'm having a blast. I think I'm a comedian. They're mad though. So I was thinking about crashing now. What? I'm looking at him like, it's act, nigga. I'm having a good time. This is hip hop. They're mad. I'm never that mad. Yo, you talked about yo, listen. They got little pages these days. They told my mama everything. My mama is put up. I sent her 10 grand like a couple days ago. She is good. If y'all didn't know me, y'all couldn't know my mama. My mama is good. Thank y'all for knowing me. Whatever y'all say about my mama, I tell my mama to stay offline. She good. They're mad. I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong with y'all? I don't take this shit serious. That's why. I'm gonna start taking it serious. I'm gonna start taking it serious now. I'm gonna start taking it serious. This shit could go all the way left. I'm gonna start taking it serious now. That's what I realized. Now, the thing with Meek, if Meek pulled up on me, I would, if he said, yo, bro, all that shit you be talking online, I wouldn't act dumb. I would be like, yo, bro, you know you talk shit about me too, right? That's the only thing I would say to him. But Dave Free pulled up on me and I was just like, why he acting like he lost the beef? Like, he looked passionate. Like, if anything, he's sort of like, your man's lost. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, sit there and watch Not Like Us. Euphoria. Watch that shit, nigga. You back the nigga who lost, nigga. That's what's popping. West Coast, Crip nigga, Blood nigga, LA, SA. What? I thought that's what was going to come over. The nigga came over emotional. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? What's pop? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't take y'all serious. This is all a joke to me. I joke on all of y'all. I joke on Drake too. Didn't I get my jokes off on Drake earlier? Yo, Drake gang. Drake, no more 6 God talk. Them niggas just ran up in Canada. I don't give 2 fucks about none of y'all.
Ak went full prosecutor mode. He would roast Meek for tweeting about everything under the sun, except these allegations about him and Diddy getting freaky.
Yo, Meek, now ain't the time to be talking about switches on the street. They want to know if you're a switch hitter. That's what we want to know. That's funny. We ain't talking about switches on guns. Why nobody ever say, yo, all right, listen. Yo, we don't fuck with this nigga Ak, but like, that shit funny, though. That shit kind of funny. That's shit kind of funny. That's a play on words. Are you a switch hitter? That's all we want to know.
But he wasn't satisfied with just discussing the lawsuit. He would go on to dig up tweets with every interaction between Meek and Diddy that suddenly looked suspicious as hell.
Wait, I did that shit? Look up the pool video. What happened in the pool? Oh, him belly flopping? Meek Mill pool. Oh, the fries on the lap? Nah, that was epic. That was epic. The fries on the lap was crazy.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
Meek and Diddy in matching fits? What are you talking about? Yo, chat. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be waking up sometimes like, yo, if I'm one of these rappers, I'm like, yo, how do I not slap Akademiks? Yo, some of these niggas I wake up and I just write jokes for. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. This is kind of like a daddy pose. Daddy, you feel me?
The stream racked up millions of views on Twitch and over 400k on
Thank you for taking me shopping, daddy.
YouTube, with clips spreading across social media faster than a freak-off rash, and what started
word? We went viral?
as a footnote was now a full-blown hip-hop conspiracy theory with Akademiks as the lead investigator. And now, this is where things get really intense. Meek would warn Akademiks to...
Oh, shit, I forget this. Yo, Ak, did not tell you stop playing my name. Yo, you know what's so funny? I promise you, like, and I told Slow this too. I told Slow this. You know, when a lot of niggas who rock with EXO rock with Meek. Like Slow, Trav, Dilla, all that. You know, even which I know, Slowbuck's AJ. Like AJ fucks with Meek heavy. Bro, like, it's me and Meek we've never seen each other. Like, me and Meek would probably be friends if he ever came around me and understand my humor. He would be like, oh man, that's that nut ass Akademiks, man. He be joking like that, bro. but I never met him. So like all my jokes against him, them shit, yo, I think I'm really funny. Yo, put like this. I'm so funny, niggas really do want to kill me. That's a different level of funny. Nigga, I'm only making jokes against these niggas. Niggas act did not tell you to stop playing with my name. I don't know what I'm going to do when I see you. It's going to have a combination to it.
Stop mentioning his name, making vague threats about what would happen when they crossed paths in person, posts that only made him appear more unhinged.
Let's take a shot.
Akademiks would flip Meek's aggression back on him quicker than Diddy flipping over Meek at a freak-off, suggesting that Meek was only...
I said I don't even think he gay. I just think it was weird. He got on Elon Musk's Twitter to blame me for the lawsuit, and he promoted a song. He was like, yo, but fuck what Axe saying. Check out the song. I was like, nigga, I didn't say it first, but could you at least tell him you're not gay? You never addressed it. You say, I was like, yo, dog, you know you can just say, that's not true, they're lying? Brothers done dropped this whole trailer more times than a SoundCloud link. He trying to use it as a promo. That's odd to me. Yo, chat, if Meek Mill ever whip my ass, I'm going to come on here as a man and be like, yo, bro, I deserved it. Pause. Extra pause. Because I don't deserve it, daddy. No. But if Meek see me and give me the beat, if his team beat me up, I'm suing. Facts. Meek got to beat me up himself. If Meek beat me up himself, all right, we got it. I'll just do a story time. Story time. Yeah, I squared up with Meek, and I thought Meek wasn't like that. And I forgot that he's 6'2". I'm 5'9". I'm like this, and I ain't gonna lie. I think it's because we all know Meek on that Ozempic. Meek hit me with a bang. I had a black eye before I even noticed it. Trust me, chat. Even if I get beat up, it's gonna be a dub. There's no L for me. A beat up dub. I'm gonna have the funniest story. So at the point I'm losing consciousness, when all 10 of them niggas is stomping me out. Now, if you're too rich, I'm suing you. But if you're not rich enough, I'm gonna just tell a good story time. I'm act. Nobody expects nothing from me. I'm gonna win. This is why I act all crazy.
Angry before the speculation about his sexuality hit too close to home. What followed was an intense battle between the two on social media. Akademiks called Meek washed up, and the two would continue to throw insults at each other. By March, Akademiks was claiming that cops showed up at his door, allegedly called...
They did. Now, I don't know if Meek called him, but I do think it was Meek's... it was just responsibility, because Meek tweeted out, could somebody tell me his address? Because I'm about to pop up on him. If the police comes to my house, imagine me saying, tell me X, Y, and Z's address, because I'm about to pop up on him, and I tweet it out. So everybody's trying to tweet me addresses or whatever, some of them right, some of them wrong. Then now, police show up to your crib. I was just looking at that, I'm like, yo, that's not a gangster move. Like, the gangsters don't crowdsource addresses. I've never seen that before. Tell me where my op lives that I could go kill him. Or not do nothing, but I'll have the police go there. What?
By Meek himself, who ironically built his brand on anti-snitching anthems. Later that month, Meek had apparently had enough and would block Akademiks on X. On the flip side, Akademiks would declare victory instantly, boasting that he'd out-tweeted the infamous Twitter fingers himself. The internet would diss Meek for taking an L from a media personality and streamer, and the streets really weren't feeling this look. But while Meek would stop Akademiks' trolling with the block button, what he couldn't block out were the millions of people who would go on to taunt him about being Diddy's booty call over the next months. Now, between February and September 2024, Meek caught occasional breaks from the relentless mockery, but each new development in Diddy's legal saga brought fresh waves of clowning. When federal agents raided Diddy's mansions in March, uncovering an enormous cache of baby oil, Slippery Meek would be the butt of the memes. And when an alleged Diddy freak-off participants list hit the internet, Meek was specifically named as a VIP. And when feds snatched up Diddy on trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in charges in September, anybody who had ever breathed Diddy's musty air was under renewed scrutiny, especially Meek, who found himself right back in the digital crosshairs. All the evidence pointing to his alleged relationship with Diddy would make the rounds again, with people clowning him for allegedly getting his cheeks clapped by the diddler. This time, Meek would hit back with the oldest play in the self-defense handbook, blame it all on a conspiracy. He posted his notifications feed like it was evidence at a trial, claiming that bots were running a coordinated hit job on powerful figures like himself. And now whoever they is supposed to be, Meek left that to our imagination. By September the 24th, Meek would go full Alex Jones, offering $100 grand in cash money to anyone who could prove how his name got tangled up in Diddy's legal nightmare. This desperate move only made him look worse and gave celebrities fresh ammunition to mock him. For one, 50 Cent, who's been going at Diddy's neck for months over the allegations, immediately capitalized on the situation. 50 would post an AI-generated video showing Meek and Diddy in wigs, essentially laughing at Meek for trying to pay his way out of a situation that his own public behavior created. Even lesser-known personalities started getting their shots in too. Actor Julio McCullum jumped on the bandwagon, responding to Meek's $100,000 tweet with the viral picture of him and Diddy twinning. At this point, the pattern was clear. The more Meek tried to deny, the more evidence of his seemingly bizarre relationship with Diddy kept surfacing. On November 19th, footage from Meek's 27th birthday party in 2014, hosted by none other than the diddler himself, hit the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail revealed that Diddy had rented the Parisian Paris for $25,000 to throw an extravagant party for Meek, with masked dancers, lingerie-clad women, and men eating sushi off naked models. The property manager described the double fish buffet celebration as disgusting, claiming that there was cocaine like powdered sugar everywhere, along with used blood on the bedding and lubricant on the dressers and marble floors. Now, for the record, marble floors are very porous. You don't want to be pouring baby oil on those. These weren't exactly the kind of party details you'd want attached to your name when you're trying to shake off rumors of your relationship with Diddy. Like all the other allegations, Meek would deny these too, but at this point he knew the damage to his reputation was beyond repair, so his only move left was to completely denounce any ties with Diddy, and that's exactly what he did. In a video that quickly went viral, Meek would shut down any connection that linked him with Diddy.
Yo, Shaw, what's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this real life.
Real life.
You know, Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
That Meek, yeah, Meek.
Seemingly ignoring the fact that just a few years earlier, he was calling Diddy his mentor, featuring him in videos, and jumping in his swimming pool while Diddy called him daddy. For a rapper who'd built his brand on keeping it real, most people saw these seemingly desperate attempts to rewrite history as authentic as a $3 bill. Even Whack 100 and Loose Cannon couldn't help mocking how Meek wanted to suddenly backtrack after all the evidence had surfaced.
Meek Mill clowning now. Meek Mill